This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important update to share with you. The government shutdown deadline is just 2 days away while lawmakers unveil a $1.7 trillion spending bill. House GOP are urging not to vote for it, which means we could have a shutdown right before the Christmas holidays. And Joe Manchin is working with a Republican proposing a new bill. And the question comes about, is Joe Manchin switching parties along with Kyrsten Sinema? I'm going to play a video clip from Joe Manchin answering that questions and a few other issues. There are two new stimulus programs. One of them, $300 given out to thousands of families in one state, and then another state, $1,200 direct payments under this new plan, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more daily, straight-to-the-point updates on matters that financially matter to you. So lawmakers unveil a $1.7 trillion U.S. spending bill as shutdown deadline looms. So congressional leaders unveiled a government-wide $1.7 trillion spending package early Tuesday that includes another large round of aid to Ukraine, nearly 10% boost in defense spending, and roughly $40 billion in to assist communities across the country recovering from drought, hurricanes, and other natural disasters. The bill is 4,155 pages. Who has enough time to read that before the deadline on Friday, which is crazy? It includes about $772.5 billion for non-defense discretionary programs, $858 billion in defense funding, and would last through the end of the fiscal year until September. So with this out, House GOP urges members to vote against the government funding bill. So, House GOP leadership is urging its members to vote down a sweeping government spending package expected to come to a vote this week, clashing with their Republican counterparts in the upper chamber who are pushing for its passage. Man, I'm fumbling my words today. House Minority Whip Steve Scalise's office sent out a notice to members Tuesday afternoon recommending a no vote on the bill. So it looks like the Senate may be moving forward with it, but it's going to have problems with the Republicans in the House. The notice panned the 4,000 plus page package, saying it continues the out-of-control spending binge in Washington that has gone unchecked over the past 2 years. So, yeah, Republicans not too happy with this bill. This is the bill where once a year, any politicians who made special back-end deals, both Democrats and Republicans, people in their district, business owners, to sneak in these little bills that go undetected, especially in a 4,000-page bill, and they kind of get that and get their kickbacks and all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of shady stuff in these bills. So here's what's in the $1.7 trillion bill. I'll just go over a couple of things. More aid to Ukraine, I kind of mentioned that before. Emergency disaster assistance, $38 billion to that. Overhaul of the electoral vote counting law. Funding for the January 6 attack prosecutions. Changing to Medicaid and other healthcare programs. And higher maximum Pell Grant awards. Increased support for the military and veterans. Beefing up nutrition assistance, more money for childcare, help to pay utility bills, enhance retirement savings, more support for the environment, additional funding for the U.S. Capitol Police, investments in homelessness prevention and affordable housing, more resources for children's mental health and for substance abuse, TikTok ban from federal devices. What's not in the bill, enhanced child tax credit, new cannabis banking rules, and I guess many other things. So that's basically a nutshell of what that is. Doesn't look like it's going to pass as is, and to debate a 4,000-page bill, I think is going to take a lot more than just 2 days. So probably going to see a stopgap measure or a government shutdown by Friday. So I'll keep you updated on that. Senator Haggerty and Manchin proposed $10,000 threshold for Venmo, PayPal tax, and reporting change up from $600. So originally it was proposed that anyone making more than $600 on Venmo and PayPal would have to report their taxes, or they could be eligible for, excuse me, for other scrutiny. So with this bill, Senator Bill Hagerty, who is a Republican, Joe Manchin, who is, I guess, sort of a Democrat right now, will propose to raise the tax reporting threshold to $10,000 from $600. I think that's fair. It'll probably help a lot of small business people. But take a look at what Joe Manchin has to say.
Congressional leaders unveiled their massive and long-awaited $1.7 trillion government funding bill. But with a shutdown looming this Friday, lawmakers have very little time to review the legislative text, which runs more than 4,000 pages long. Let's bring in Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. He's a member of the Appropriations Committee. Senator, thanks for joining us. I want to ask you, because one of the things that was left out of the spending bill are two widely supported bipartisan antitrust bills that would rein in big tech monopolies like Apple and Google. Neither bill was given a vote on the Senate or the House floor, which Democrats control. I'll point out that one of the biggest sources for campaign funds for Democrats these days is big tech. Why was this legislation left out that would protect consumers and small businessmen?
There's no excuse at all, Jake. None at all. So to anyone trying to give you an excuse, I can't. It should have been. It's something we all talked about from redoing Section 230 on down, but why that was done, I have no clue whatsoever. I cannot give you an answer on that. We knew a lot of the stuff. We've been working on things for a whole year, Jake, so we had a lot of input on a lot of the things that's been in there, and it's gone through the Appropriations Committee when we were working together. But at the end there's an awful lot comes together. I can say that, but why some things are taken out and four corners have to agree, Democrats and Republicans, whether it be McConnell, or whether it be Senator Schumer, or whether it be Nancy or Kevin on the House side.
One thing that is in the massive bill, I know you're happy about, is the legislation to reform the Electoral Count Act. Yes. It would raise the threshold needed to challenge presidential electors. Right now it only requires one lawmaker in the House and one in the Senate. Are you satisfied these changes are enough to prevent any future attempts to overturn election results? Well,
basically, it'll stop what happened to us January the 6th. That was our main call, and that's what we addressed. Everyone had a different idea how to approach that, Jake. Some wanted to go further, some wanted to do a lot more. I understand that. And the House did a lot more of what they sent over. But basically, working in a bipartisan way that we have to, working in the Senate, we came up with something that addressed, first of all, being totally ceremonial, so a vice president can never be caught in that situation again. Next of all, just one congressperson or one senator couldn't hold up a whole counting process for one state. Now it takes 20% or 86 congresspeople to say, we think the state of XYZ was wrong, and we think the count was wrong, and we contest that. And you had to have 20 senators to confirm it. So that puts a whole nother wrinkle into it, and I think adds more to an oversight and democracy, if you will. And next of all, the electoral college, those people, the electors, have to be chosen before the election, not afterwards, to try to get people that you think is going to go along with you. And then we have a court, accelerated court proceedings. So there's the things that have stopped what happened January the 6th. There's still a lot more to do, but you remember, we have states' rights also.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but Kevin McCarthy, who is really trying to get the votes to become Speaker, he said that if any Republicans in the Senate vote for this omnibus spending bill, $1.7 trillion, then their legislative priorities will not be heard in the House when he is Speaker. Mitt Romney called that silliness. What do you think of it?
I think Mitt described it pretty well. Yeah, pretty well. I mean, this is not a vindictive type of thing that we're not in high school or college and playing games back and forth. This is real life. And with that being said, Kevin is fighting, I understand, for his political life over there. Wish him well. Don't know how that's going to come out. We have no input on that whatsoever. But to say you're going to stop everything and hold things hostage if we do things that we think is best for our country on our side, and we have Democrats and Republicans both agreeing, then it's something to be worked out when the two get together, both sides, the bicameral. That's why we have a bicameral body here, the House and the Senate. So saying that one's going to put pressure and control the other, and if you do that, forget your legislation's dead, that's not leadership.
Another provision left out of the omnibus spending bill was the bill to protect Afghan allies who served with American troops in Afghanistan. If that comes up as an amendment, would you vote for it?
Absolutely. That's a big mistake. We had people risking their lives and their families' lives, and there was promises made. And we have people that basically, when we go into areas of conflict, when we have our troops and the lives of our troops in danger, and we have someone willing to protect our troops and work with us to try to give us the best chance of survival and success, and we can at least make sure that we keep them protected, yes, I would vote for that.
The fate of Title 42 is up in the air right now as the U.S. grapples with the crisis on the border. Congress has failed to deal with the border for decades, as I don't need to tell you. Is there any kind of bipartisan agreement that can be made to solve this? And why isn't it happening yet?
I think there is. I think there's some breakthrough here. There's been a lot of conversations going on. And I understand the administration, under the leadership of Secretary Mayorkas, working on behalf of the administration, has some things that they've been talking about. And I'm thinking that the group that we put together, been John Cornyn and myself from the Senate, and we have Congressman Gonzalez and Congressman Cuellar, who are Congressman Cuellar and John Cornyn are right on the front lines in Texas. So they know it better than anybody else, but there are things that they believe that can be done. They've been exchanging those ideas back and forth. We've written a letter. 42 must be basically enforced and continued on, and not just in the realm of the pandemic, but also in the realm of security. We have to be able to secure our borders. There's never going to be, Jake, meaningful immigration reform until we get committed to securing our border. You have to have a secure border. There have to be points of entry. There have to make sure that people go through the proper vetting process. And those are all things that we can do. But until you secure that border, and that seems to be where the big rub is, how secured should it be? What should you secure it? It's going to take everything. The 2013 bill is still the best piece of legislation that we've ever worked on in immigration. And we couldn't get a vote in the House at that time. And it's a shame that never happened, because we passed it bipartisan, over 68 votes in the Senate.
Yeah.
And it basically was all geared around, you couldn't have anybody becoming a U.S. citizen until the border was deemed secured.
Yeah. After Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema announced she was leaving the Democratic Party in an interview with me about a week and a half ago, you later said in an interview that you'll let us know what you're going to decide to do. So I'll ask you, do you intend to remain a member of the Democratic Party?
I don't think there's anyone more independent than me and the way I've been voting in my entire life, over 40 years. I'm not a Washington Democrat, and I have a lot of good friends who aren't Washington Republicans. This party tribal mentality is killing our country. People are sick and tired of it. I respect Kyrsten's decision. God bless her. She made her decision, and she's very articulate in the way she's pointed out of why she did what she did. And I think that basically I'll make my decision whenever I make a decision, or if I do make a decision, I'll do it, and I'm not in any hurry to do that. So, the bottom line is I'm not changing how I vote. I'm not changing how I approach a problem. If my Republican colleagues have a good idea, I'm for it. I can go home and explain it. If the Democrats have a good idea, I can support that also. And I'm not afraid to say I can't support something that makes no sense at all to the Democrats or Republicans. So people have gotten so, it's what team are you on? I'm on one team. I'm on the American team. I would like to think we're all on the same side. We just have different branches, that's all. But the same side is the American side.
Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Merry Christmas, sir. Good to see you as always.
Thank you, Jake. Always good to be with you.
What are your thoughts on what Manchin said? Let me know down in the comments below. So cash in a new $300 given holiday stimulus to go to thousands of families before Christmas from $1.5 million pot. So this is going on in the city of Los Angeles. It's supposed to help 5,000 families below the poverty line. And looks like this is the Los Angeles mayor, Karen Bass. And it looks like there is a $300 check, part of a direct cash assistance program. So this actually isn't giving too many details, just besides the qualifications, not saying when those $200 check or those $300 checks are going out. So yeah, that's what's going on in LA. And then Kid Cash, Americans could be in line for one-time $1,200 direct payment under new plan. See if you're eligible. So this is going on in one state, Montana. So in the state of Montana, it's paying, the child tax credit could be worth as much as $1,200 for each kid under the age of 6 years old. So that's what's going on in Montana, the child tax credit, pretty big there. Yeah, and then it goes over a few other states with child tax credit, $500 in New York. In Connecticut, there's child tax credit between $250, $750, And yeah, so just mention a few other states there in terms of child tax credit. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing you should do for when you're feeling down and you want to follow your wishes. Then do whatever you want. It's a free country here. You can do whatever you want. So bye guys. Have a good night or a good day.
Thank you so much for watching and for all of your support in the channel. So I'm sort of in a good mood today. Today is the day that I'm going to be able to take my first steps since my injury on October 17th. Yesterday I saw the doctor, looked at my ankle, said everything is looking good. So I think this is, about 4 weeks or so after my surgery. And thanks again for all of your support, for sticking with me. My schedule's been all over the place, posting at different times. So thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate that. So the next 2 days I have to walk with crutches and a boot on, and I could put some weight on my foot, and then after the 2 days, then I could walk on my own. So this is really exciting. It's crazy to think that I haven't been able to walk since October 17th, which is when I rolled my ankle. So I'll let you know how that goes. That's pretty exciting. Anyways, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, click right up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.